the national championship.
The Florida Gators have won the Southeastern Conference Championship. GatorZone is presented by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
Well, this time of year, it's all about playing for championships. You can see behind us that softball won a few years ago. Baseball got one last year, so 3 of the last 4 years, baseball and softball have won national titles. And that's why we're at softball, to get things going on this episode of GatorZone. Alongside my partner, Megan Parler, Jeff Cardozo here with you. It's such a fun time of year, and both of these teams really, really good. Both in the top 5, both have been ranked as high as #1, so they obviously have a lot of talent. And you know, in this day and age, too, in baseball, you see the number 99 everywhere. It's this guy, Aaron Judge, all rise for Judge. So everybody wants to have that number. Now, if I had that number, I think it's some scrub from spring training, so you wouldn't want that. But it is all the rave, and one of the Florida softball players has number 99.
That's right, Jeff. Jordan Matthews in her freshman year is just doing phenomenal things as the DP. She's played a little right field, and I know she's from Anaheim, so maybe she'd be 27 for Mike Trout, but no, 99 I guess is her number. And she's just been so remarkable this year, a great teammate, and also coming back from a torn ACL less than a year ago. So here's more about number 99. For student athletes making their journey all the way from California, they need to feel like Florida is their second home. For freshman Jordan Matthews, Tim Walton did just that and showed her that he was invested, even after her high school senior season didn't end the way anyone would have wanted.
It was the last game of the season. It was the first round of CIF, and it was the first pitch, first at bat of the game, and I hit it down the right field line, and instead of sliding at second, I kind of just went, and then my knee popped.
After talking with Coach Walton, the surgery would be here in Gainesville, and then the rehab would begin.
And from that point on, it was just like work, and we came back.
Jordan tore her ACL in May of 2017, and by the time the Gators opened their season in Tampa this year, February 9th, less than a year since her injury, she was in the lineup and hit a 3-run home run.
It's insane. She's always been one of the best players, and I'm so proud of her for coming back in such a short amount of time, and she's not even at her best yet, so I'm just super excited to see how she grows as a player and a person.
Her teammates realize what an amazing feat it is to return at the level she has, but for Jordan, it just seemed like the next step.
I don't know, it's like different because like I was doing it, and then some parts were hard, but like the rehab was hard, but it just, I don't know. It is like when I came back, it felt like I was ready to come back, so it didn't seem like I was surprised.
The old infielder, now turned outfielder, has put up stats that everyone is noticing in the box. For number 99, she just tries to get out of her head as much as possible.
I try to keep my mind blank because I don't want to think too much, but I also know that I'm doing it for my team, and yeah, I have to get it done. So,
if she needs to relax and stop thinking about it too much, she has a go-to move.
I start wrapping my head in the box, and I rap Children's Story by Slick Rick. It just, I don't know, like it gets my mind off of things, and so then I see the ball coming, I just react. I'm not thinking about it.
Someone who has seen Jordan react in the best way since they were 9-year-olds, their pitcher-hitter competition was always friendly.
It was always hard to, like, if I pitched against her, not smile, because I wanted to just be like, hi, oh my God. But yeah.
Even though fans see the calm, cool, and collected Matthews, Lugo knows her better than that.
Super loud at the most random times, always laughing and giggling and just having a good time. She's very positive, so good spirit to be around.
So as Jordan Matthews continues to wow the fans with her clutch hitting and big numbers, her outlook and hard work keep her climbing for more.
Good story, Megan. Nice stuff there on Jordan Matthews, and Gator fans look forward to seeing number 99 for 3 more years after this. Well, it's a nice, tough race down the stretch for the softball team, so we'll see if they can pull off another SEC championship.
And we got to get to our first break here on GatorZone. When we come back, we'll talk about 2 seniors that you need to know more about.
GatorZone is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
Hey everybody, welcome back to GatorZone. Jeff and Megan here in the visiting dugout. So we're used to seeing probably this yellow ball going over the fence because that means the Gators are hitting them. And speaking of yellow balls, that's what they do in tennis. But they don't go over fences, they go over nets. And Gators certainly a really good tennis team. And one of the guys on this team doing some good things, a senior.
Yep, senior Jordan Belga coming from Boca Raton, Florida. And in his junior year, won Most Improved for the team. So still getting things done in 2018.
Hey Gators, we're here at the Ring Tennis Complex talking some men's tennis. My name's Katie Leahy. I'm joined by Jordan Belga. So Jordan, tell me, when did you first know that tennis was the sport you wanted to pursue competitively, and why was it tennis that you chose?
I think for me it kind of started when I probably discovered it when I was 8 years old. Before then I was pretty much trying out every sport like every other younger kid, but at 8 years old I decided to just talk to my parents and take tennis more seriously. It's because it was something I wanted to pursue, and just having dreams of playing professional tennis was probably the big inspiration behind it.
And when you're younger and you play individual tennis, how does that change when you're then on like a team atmosphere and all of that?
I think with just tennis as mainly an individual sport that you kind of just focus on your own needs and your own self pretty much almost 90% of the time, where as we're on a team in college that the dynamics completely change. You have to care for other teammates and be aware of their own needs, and so just kind of be aware of that team dynamic, which is completely different than individual tennis.
And what's it like playing here, being a Gator and playing for the Gator Nation and all of that?
Oh, it's been such a heck of an experience, just all the memories and all the competition just in the SEC has been such a privilege that just being a student athlete here is just a wonderful blessing and experience, just to get to go to school here and compete and travel. So it's all been amazing, a wonderful experience for me.
And what's your greatest memory as a Gator?
Greatest memory? I probably have to throw it back to sophomore year when we took the SEC tournament title for I think the first time in maybe like 10 years maybe. That it was a wonderful experience. I remember that I think we finished maybe second in the season. We lost to Georgia in the regular season, who ended up undefeated, and then having to play them in the final of the tournament to get that revenge match and that W back was a great feeling for us that year.
And having your team behind your back, but also having Coach Shelton, how has he kind of affected your game and just kind of made your experience here?
Oh, Coach has been a great resource for us. I think just with his experience as not only as a professional but as a college tennis player at Georgia Tech, I think he's had a lot of experience and knowledge just to share with us, not only just with on-court stuff, but also off-court with life and academics and other stuff, which have been really useful to us.
Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
For more information about the Florida men's tennis team, visit floridagators.com.
Jeff, we learned how Jordan was most improved last year. Well, Rachel Slocum from the gymnastics team, probably most energetic. She's a great competitor, but brings so much spunk and chemistry, and I know her teammates love her.
Well, and it's interesting because she hasn't been around her teammates a ton. She transferred in from Eastern Michigan, but was an asset right from the start. All SEC last year and all SEC this year, so she's really good.
One of a kind. That's probably the best way to describe senior Rachel Slocum. The Holly Springs, North Carolina native transferred to Florida from Eastern Michigan after her sophomore season, a move that even surprised Slocum herself.
Florida's like super great at gymnastics. I think they were ranked number 4 in the country at the time. Eastern was ranked 17th, and so I was like, that's a huge jump. I'm definitely not good enough for that. Like a month before school was supposed to start in the fall, Jenny called me and she was like, hi, like we have a year of scholarship if you want it. And I was like, hi Jenny, are you talking to the right person? Do you have the right number? Like, I was so humbled by her offer, like a little person from a MAC school like me getting an opportunity like at a great school like Florida.
Of course, Coach Rowland knew she had the correct number when she invited Slocum to be a Gator. Her high-spirited personality fits in with this team. But at first, Rachel's new teammates did not know how to react to her charismatic nature.
She was just super extroverted, and I'm an introvert. She was just super out there, and I was like, wow, that's really her. And then I thought it was just like, they're just, trying to fit in or whatever. Nope, That's her personality. So it was a lot at first, but you know, I got used to it.
I think when they realized like I was high energy all the time, you know, they got used to it. And so I definitely felt like more at home and more like, oh, I can be like this all the time and like I can just be myself.
Gator Nation has seen Slocum compete on vault and floor throughout her time in orange and blue, both of which she excels at. Rachel has collegiate best marks of 9.975 on vault and 995 on floor, and she was the 2018 NCAA University Park Regional Champion on both events.
Floor and vault are the two events that I do, and they're power-related events. So I think definitely my high energy ties into the power event, and I love competing floor. So I would definitely say I am powerful and a performer.
I feel like she's like a spring, you know, because she goes really high. It's so fun to watch, and I think that's the reason our Gator fans love Slocum so much, is because she's just fun to watch, and she's a great performer.
She's an entertaining competitor, but she's also fun to watch when she's not on the floor. Slocum uses her high energy and bubbly personality throughout the entire meet to keep the mood light.
You know, like you don't want people to be like rigid all the time, and obviously gymnastics is about having fun and performing, so being able to dance and show my teammates that, you know, we're here to have a good time is definitely something that relaxes them and keeps them, you know, in the zone too.
Gymnastics is not the most laid-back sport, so to have someone who's just so goofy all the time, it definitely balances out very evenly with the rest of our team, because some people are uptight and then they see Slocum and then everybody's loose. So I think that's just been the biggest change she's brought to this team.
Slocum's skills and infectious personality will be missed on the competition floor next season. But the Gators aren't completely losing Rachel just yet.
After graduation, I'm planning to get my master's in sport management here. So while I'm in grad school, I'll be the manager on the team for 2 years. So I'll definitely be sticking around in Gainesville for a while.
The University of Florida was the perfect fit for this one-of-a-kind gymnast. And what Slocum brought to this team and the sport of gymnastics will be hard to forget. For GatorZone, I'm Shelby Gernath.
Thank you, Shelby, and we know Gator fans will definitely miss Rachel Slocum.
Yeah, they certainly will. Well, we're not going to go to the O-Dome. We're going to lacrosse next. So we had a yellow softball, talked about a yellow tennis ball. The lacrosse ball is neonish yellow. We'll find out after the break.
GatorZone is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. And by Gatorade. Win from within.
Hey everybody, welcome back to GatorZone. Guess where we are? We're at the lacrosse facility, Donald R. Disney Lacrosse Stadium, where we're going to talk about lacrosse. And it's obviously a great lacrosse team. Amanda O'Leary has done a fantastic job ever since he's been here. Gators in the Big East Conference. Bet you didn't know that, but bet you didn't know this the last year in the Big East too. But they've got a phenomenal team, and they get a lot of players from up in the Northeast. And our feature comes from one from Maryland.
That's right, Anaya Flanagan in her senior year from Maryland, like you said. Great defender, and I think she's pretty good in the classroom too. Last year made the Big East All-Academic team.
For senior defender Anaya Flanagan, lacrosse wasn't always a part of her life. She didn't play every day like most of her teammates from Maryland, and she certainly didn't know that she would quickly become one of the best in the game.
I started a little later than others because I was a dancer and stuff before, and then when I saw my brother playing lacrosse and soccer, I was like, I want to try it too, but I don't want to be the girly one in the family. So then playing lacrosse, and my speed and everything just, I don't know, I felt like the sport fit me best.
It didn't take long for Anaya to break into the starting lineup as a freshman for the Gators, starting the season opener in 2015 against the second-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. While she may have started lacrosse later in her career, she credits one coach for her drastic improvement.
I feel like Mandy has pushed me beyond my potential. I'm usually just a one-hit wonder. I'll do this and then I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. But she made me keep going. She made me practice on my weaknesses and just more encouragement to try to do different things that I wasn't really comfortable doing.
That positive reinforcement and encouragement led to Flanagan starting 18 games in 2016 and starting in all 20 games in 2017, while setting career highs in ground balls and turnovers. Having played in that many games for the Orange and Blue, there isn't much that Anaya hasn't seen during her Gator career. She is a quiet yet proven leader on this team.
Work ethic for her, she is always the first one to jump into a drill. She She definitely leads by example. She's not the loudest, but with her work ethic, everyone follows her, and that's what you want from a senior leader.
It's more wanting to prove myself. A lot of players on the team, they're used to being told what to do, and I just want to have them follow me by what I'm doing on the field, whether it's just looking at what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and they learn it from me. I feel like that works best. A lot of people don't learn from being told what to do. They want to see it.
Anaya is the heart of our defense. She's just so confident back there. She sees everything. She's there for every teammate. She's a great defender, 1v1. She marks up on the other team's best attackers, and she's just unstoppable back there, and she really takes charge.
Playing with Anaya for all 4 years has been incredible. I'm excited to play with her again for our last spring together. She's a hard worker. She's one of the best defenders on our team. She makes me better every single day, and her type of play and her ability has made me a better player.
While Gainesville is her home away from home, when she does return to Maryland, they are eager and always willing to support the orange and blue.
More like, where's my Gator gear? You gonna bring me some Gator gear? And I'm just like, But my family and everyone that knows me are very proud of me. All my brother's friends are really excited to see me. And my brother and his friends always send me videos of them doing the Gator chomp. It's like a really big deal when I go home.
And being that a lot of these Gators are so far away from home, Coach O'Leary has become more than a coach to a lot of these players.
She's like a second mom. I can always talk to her when I needed to talk to her. She kind of understood how we felt because our daughter is so far away. So she kind of got the idea, like if we needed to go home or call our parents or stay an extra hour with our family, she understood that. Like at games, at tailgates, she understood that we were in a rush because we wanted to see our family so bad. So I feel like her understanding that she has a daughter that's far away and her daughter would love to see her any chance she get, I feel like she understands us pretty well.
Anaya may have started her lacrosse career a little later than most, but she has quickly become one of the best in the game. For GatorZone, I'm Emma Green.
It was nice to learn a little bit more about Anaya, and it's really cool that Florida this year hosts the Big East tournament right here on these fields. And football used to practice on these fields before the new indoor practice facility, and Dan Mullen getting his squad ready for the fall and tons of spring football.
Yeah, a lot of practice going on, but it all wrapped up with a big spring game, and we're expecting a lot of people. That's exactly what happened. So many people showed up to watch this Gator football team. Certainly a lot of excitement what Dan Mullen is doing. You want to find out about the quarterbacks and the offense and the receivers and everybody else, but it seemed like everybody had a great time. So here's a recap of a tremendous Saturday.
It's springtime in Gainesville, Florida, and it's time to step into the swamp for the orange and blue game as the Dan Mullen era gets started here in Gator Nation. The Michael P. right in the game. Here's Felipe Franks taking off on a run. They're going to give him credit for an eluded tackle, and Franks showing off his wheels. Touchdown outside the 10 before he goes Superman. Give it to him. A 60-yard run by Felipe Franks.
So first and goal, 3-yard line, right hash for Franks. And he's going to fake the handoff and keep the ball and run it in for another touchdown for Felipe Franks on a 3-yard run.
I'll be happy to see Felipe Franks with not one but 2 rushing touchdowns in this thing. Trask at quarterback, and Trask will hand it off to Jordan Scarlett, and he's got an opportunity. Scarlett all the way into orange territory and a big-time run. Trask hands it off to Scarlett, and he will bounce his way into the end zone. This wasn't going to stay a low-scoring game for long.
The snap to Trask. Trask looking off to the left, fires the ball left side. And there's a catch for Cleveland. Ball is on the right hash. Snap to Trask, hands it off to Scarlett. Scarlett hit, surges forward, lunges across the goal line for a touchdown from a yard out, Jordan Scarlett.
Here we go. What is this celebration? We're playing Duck, Goose.
2nd and 8, Emory Jones takes the snap, looks to throw, zings the ball down the field, and he's got a receiver there. R.J. Raymond, who makes the catch and then breaks a tackle, and down the sideline he'll run in for the touchdown, and he'll heave the ball into the second deck as well on a beautifully thrown ball and a great broken tackle. R.J. Raymond has scored for the Orange We're into the third quarter with Emory Jones leading the orange team, going right to left, and Jones is back to pass and throwing to a wide open and a quarantined tight end. A touchdown for Kamari Gamble. There's a pass play being caught, and it looks like it's going to be a touchdown for the Blue.
How about
on a ball thrown over the middle of the field. Got ice all over the field now.
What a great way to end this game.
Well, Jeff, September cannot come soon enough to see those guys really out on the field in the swamp, just running around.
And top plays can't come soon enough because I am pretty good at this. Let's see how we can do it out there in a whole bunch of space when we return on GatorZone. I'm open right here. Ooh, nice pass. Look at that catch. And on the ground too. That's how you get them in there. So a top play right there by Jeff and Megan. Here's some more from student athletes across the Gator Nation.
Today's top plays are brought to you by Nike.
And Dalton launches one to left field. It is gone. 3-run shot in this game blown wide open with a monster third from the #1 team in the country.
Again, the potent bats in this Florida lineup just seem to never stop. And
Bases loaded for the Gators, and Will Dalton. And he rips this one to center. It'll push Eklinski back, and it's over his head. Horvath has scored. Maldonado coming home. India on his heels. And safe at third with a 3-run triple is Will Dalton.
it was a welcome change of climate. It was glorious is absolutely what it was. Can he get there?
Yes! Covering some ground. Oh, I wish we had StatCast at this level. That was a perfect route run by Nick Horvath. Breaking ball torch deep to left field. Gone if it's fair. Wow. It is off the top of the pole. Will Dalton does it again. A 3-run bomb.
Great stuff there from the student athletes. Love top plays, and it's just amazing how good each and every one of these sports are, and love watching it. Love that you guys watch us, but that's going to do it for this episode of GatorZone. But Megan, there's still plenty to talk about in the spring.
Yep, and they can always follow the Gators on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
So make sure you do it, and tune in next week to another episode of GatorZone. For my partner,
Megan Parler,
and the wonderful camera work of Gareth Gutierrez, I am Jeff Cardozo. We'll see you guys next time.